Hi everyone, in this video I will remake the chicken parmesan that Gordon Ramsay posted on his YouTube. So follow along with me and see if we can make it. Well, I have already made it because I'm making this video. Well, I will be heating up in this video I'm heating up a saucepan and just going to start with preparing the simple tomato sauce for the pasta. So there's no meat, just tomato sauce sauteed in onion and garlic and some spices. So I'm starting off with onion and garlic. I am just waiting for it to be translucent. When you work with good spices and add spices to your simple ingredient, you don't need to use MSG or any additional flavorings or seasonings. You just have to learn how to make the natural flavor of the onion and garlic or of your ingredients to come out, or their umami to come out, so it tastes good. I'm adding in the bell pepper, cracked pepper here, and then we're adding in the diced tomato sauce. I think this is about 240 grams. And this is the brand I like to use, Doña Elena. And then I'm adding 2 pouches of Del Monte tomato sauce original style, 200 ml each, so that's a total of 400 ml. Just make sure that I squeeze out everything. Okay. I'm now adding in the spices. First, the thyme and basil, and mixed it with the sauce. And I'm now adding salt. And a little bit of brown sugar. And I'm just mixing it well. So we will continue to cook it until it's boiling, and then once it's boiling we will change the heat into low and let it reduce until the oil separates. I feel like adding oregano powder to complete the spices. Okay, now I'm satisfied with the taste. I am now going to let it boil and turn the heat to low. Cover it and let it simmer. And now it has reduced after a few minutes. It's really in low right now, but the sauce is splattering, and that's ready. We'll set that aside, and now we will be cooking the pasta. I'm just filling out the water and then adding salt and let it boil. And then once it's boiling, I will be adding about 300 grams of spaghetti pasta. Now adding more for luck. And on the first 1 minute cooking time, you just have to like babysit it and keep it moving until the starch are cooked, and that will prevent the pasta from sticking. You don't need to put in oil. So just cook it according to the package instruction, and since I will have to set this aside, I will be cooking it about 2 minutes under. It's suggested the packaging is suggested to cook it for 10 minutes, so I'm taking it out after 8 minutes. So it's still al dente. If I have 2 stoves, I could let it boil and then I could fry up the chicken while it's cooking, and they should be done. I can like time it well so they're cooking together and we don't have to set aside the pasta, but I only have 1 stove. So while before we set this aside, we'll season it with black pepper and some basil, and then olive oil. gonna scoop out a little bit from that tomato sauce I made and pour a little bit of it on the pasta and then just mix them all together before I set it aside and prepare the chicken. Adding in a little bit of salt here and more pepper. I'm trying it out, and actually that alone is already good. But now I'm preparing the chicken parmesan. So I have an egg wash of an all-purpose flour and breadcrumbs. So I am seasoning the breadcrumbs with Spanish paprika, basil, and parmesan. Because Gordon Ramsay said so in his video. It would be nice if I have like the really block Parmesan cheese, but it's not really available in our area, so this is the best that I can find. So I've already butterflied the breast, the chicken breast. And I am just going to season it lightly with salt and pepper so it's not too bland, because I didn't season the egg nor the flour. Breadcrumbs has been seasoned, but it's the outer layer. I want the chicken to have a seasoning, so when you bite to it, it has flavor. So the breasts are laying on a wax paper. It's already been butterflied, so they're already thin, but Gordon Ramsay suggested that you cover it with wax paper and use like a thin roller to flatten it more. So that's what I'm doing here, covering it with wax paper and just using a rolling pin to flatten it more. This is about, I guess, 400 pounds of chicken breast fillet. I am now heating up the pan, getting it ready for frying. So the first mixture is the egg wash. Just soak the meat. If you have a better container where you can, where the egg can, or the meat can really like cover the entire meat, that would be better. Okay, and I am going to dip it in the all-purpose flour. And lastly, the panko breadcrumbs. So I'm just covering it so the breadcrumbs will stick. Actually, there's a step that I skipped in the Gordon Ramsay video. He took out, after covering it, after dipping it in panko, he took out the chicken, and then he run it with the spin well again, so that all of the breadcrumbs will stick into the meat. So what I did is, instead of doing that, I just kind of like pushed it harder into the chicken. So I think it just turned out well. So while frying the first meat, I'm dipping the second, and then now everything has been fried up. I'm chopping some fresh parsley to sprinkle it on the chicken. Just finally chopping it now. Okay, that's ready. And I'm going to get all of the chicken cutlets. There you go. And I'm going to sprinkle them with mozzarella. And lastly, the fresh parsley. And we'll just bake that in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes, or until the mozzarella is melted. And now it's everything is set, and we are now going to plate. So that's the pasta. The sauce. And the chicken. Cheese. And the chicken.